Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's great to have you here, and welcome to Results Mastery Live. We're actually live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube today. How cool is that? I love the fact that we can do that and really help as many people as we possibly can. Now, today is all about turning 12 months income into 1 month. Now you may think, well, yeah, right, Steve, I'm sure you can do that very, very easily. And the truth is you can't do it easily. There's no magic wand. There's no silver bullet. There's no, unless you win the lottery, you're probably not going to turn your 12-month income into 1 month overnight without any effort. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. And those of you who know me know that I've always believed in aiming high. Why set low goals? What happens when you set a goal to increase your income by 5 or 10%? And the truth of the matter is you don't do very much because you don't really need to. This is not about that. My results mastery program is not about doing okay. Examine the words results mastery, mastering your results, improving them significantly. That's what it's about. And I will be honest with you, some of the people on the results mastery program are doing fantastically well. Others haven't really done very much and are not doing as well as they could or should have been doing. But the point being about the program is that if you do decide to sign up for it, it will get you significant results. So, if you're, I don't know, I'm going to use 100, whether that's 100 grand or 100 million, that's probably a little bit over the type of people I work with, but 100 grand, you're turning over 100 grand a year, and you want to get to the 1.2 million mark, which is turning 100 into 12 hundreds or 1.2 million, then you've got to work hard. It's not going to happen. You got to either have money to invest or time to invest, and if you haven't got either of those, then do you know what? It probably ain't going to work for you, really, unless you go into the business of acquiring a business, and unless you know some secret way of buying a business for no money down, like you hear sometimes on the internet. It ain't going to get there. So how do you do that? Well, you don't need me to tell you that the only way really is to increase sales. Now, we know that, you can make more profit and grow your business by reducing costs, and that's good. I strongly recommend is there anything that you're spending right now that you could not be spending so that you could, grow your business. And if there is, fantastic. And if there isn't, then, that's basically what it is. But if you can reduce your costs, then great. But the real leverage has got to be increasing sales. And if you think about increasing sales, there are 3 ways of creating more business. That's something that I learned many years ago from a guy called Jay Abraham, who was the world's leading marketer at the time. And he used to say the 3 ways of growing a business are: number 1, to get more customers; number 2, to increase the average transaction value; and number 3, to improve the frequency of repurchase. So to put that in a supermarket metaphor, you got to get more people in the door. You've got to get them to fill their baskets more, or you've got to get them to buy more expensive products, and you've got to get them to come back and ideally only buy from you. And that's important. But also, in business, a lot of times we really focus on lead generation and lead conversion, aka marketing, then selling. They're the 2 areas that we've got to become good at, along with things like, managing the money, making sure that we are, our customer service is good, because you don't want to be getting all this new business and then losing them out the back door because the quality of the service is not very good. That's never a good thing to do. So we need to make sure that we're doing that. Now, if we're going to increase, let's just look at marketing to start with, which is obviously my favorite subject. You know, I've been involved in it now 28 years. I've learned from the best in the world. I spent, you know, over £150,000 of my own money learning this stuff, and over 25,000 hours. Now, there's a great book by a fellow table tennis player called Matthew Syed, which is called Bounce, which looks into the difference between people who are good at what they do and who are expert at what they do. And Matthew says that you got to spend 10,000 hours to be an expert. Now, I spent probably around about 25,000 hours over the last 28 years. But the truth of the matter is, I certainly don't consider myself to be an expert. An expert for me is someone who knows everything, and I don't. The rate of speed that marketing changes and improves, I don't think anybody's an expert, actually, because, you know, keeping up to date is almost a full-time job. That said, I would say I have a high level of mastery. You know, I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing it, you know, I've been advising and helping businesses for 28 years, which I think really is a pretty good testament to my ability. You know, I wouldn't have been able to stay in business for 28 years if I wasn't at least at a level called good at what you do. But good for me is not good enough. You know, if you examine the results that most businesses make, you know, if you're poor at marketing and poor at selling, what sort of rewards are you going to get? You're not even going to get poor rewards. You're going to get pain. You know, I can tell you now, you know, especially in the, you know, economic climate that we're in right now, you're not going to get great rewards. You're going to get poor rewards. And to be honest, a lot of businesses that I see are poor at it, not because they're rubbish, not because they want to be. They just like don't have time. You know, they're oh, you know, so you know, oh yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, Steve, but I don't do very much. Or, you know, I had one client the other day tell me that he posts twice per week on LinkedIn. That's like going down the gym once a fortnight and doing a curl. You know, it ain't really, you know, it's not really going to build that muscle. You know, we need to go down there more often. We need to do more curls and other exercises in order to be fitter at the gym. And what I help people do, I think, or one of the things I help with, is helping them to become marketing fit. So if we, you know, if I was working with you now, one of the first things I'd do, having defined your target market and understood your business and so on, I'd be saying to you, right, okay, what do we need to do to improve things right now? Let's have a look at what you're already doing and work out how we can improve it, how we can improve the results. Because one of the things about marketing is you can do some marketing and get no results. You can do some marketing and get poor results, or good results, or excellent results, or truly outstanding mastery level. That's what we're after. Now, if you would take any element of marketing on that and said, right, well, let's look at Google advertising as an example. AdWords, pay-per-click advertising on Google. Somebody said to me the other day, what's pay-per-click advertising? I said, paperclip. No, it's not pay-per-clip. It's pay-per-click. So anyway, pay-per-click advertising on Google. And if you looked at that, what do most businesses do? They give it a little try with perhaps a couple of £100, and then decide it doesn't work, so they go off and do something else. That's like me trying to be the Wimbledon champion at tennis, trying it for a couple of weeks and then going, do you know what? I'm not really getting anywhere. I'm going to go and play football. It just makes no sense. And they often do that without a coach, without any training, without any experience. So they're setting up their advertising really to fail because they don't have the expertise. That's like me going to a solicitor and, or should I say, me not going to a solicitor and thinking I can do my own conveyancing for my house because, you know, it's not that difficult. The truth is, you know, most of the time, pay-per-click advertising on Google I don't think works. But if you can get it to work, it's just a money machine. I know clients where we've managed to help them to get to a level where for every pound they put in, the best we've ever done is getting 12 back. So this particular client I'm talking about was spending 20 grand a month, 20 grand a month on paid advertising, right? And getting 240 grand a month back. That's not bad. How often would you like to do that? Well, I do that all day, every day, nonstop, and so on. So what you've got to work out is how you can improve the performance of each and every element of your marketing. So, for example, you might be on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook too, maybe I don't know, Twitter and Instagram. You might also have a YouTube channel, you've got a website, you do a bit of email marketing, and then offline, you maybe, you've got marketing materials, your business cards and stuff like that. And you go networking, and a couple of times a year, you exhibit at the local business show. Let's say that's your marketing. That's where you need to start off. And if I was working with you, if you were part of my results mastery program, that's what we'd be working on to start with. We'd be working on improving your results of your current marketing. Now, and really that's how to get from, turn, your annual income into your monthly income. That's like phase one. Phase two is building what I call multiple streams of income. Because if your current strategy is like, well, I got a website, I do a bit on LinkedIn, I do a bit on Facebook, and I go networking. And also I get a lot of business from word of mouth. My belief about that is that that's okay. I'll give you a better example, actually. I hear a lot people saying to me things like, well, I don't really do any marketing. We just rely on word of mouth, repeat business, and I go to the XYZ networking group once a month. All right, so that's not actually that untypical with small one-man, one-woman businesses, let's say. What's wrong with that? Well, on one hand, it's great. You're getting referral business, costing you nothing, probably converts really well. You're also getting, repeat business. That's good. It shows you're good at what you do. And you may be going networking, so you're getting in front of people. People start to know, like, and trust you, so maybe buy from you again or recommend you. All that's good stuff. However, it's also incredibly limiting. And it's a limiting up here. It's a limiting mindset. It's only going to get you what you've already got. That famous saying, if you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always got. And that's not even true anymore. With certainly the economic downturn, the world's in, let alone about the country, that's not even going to be true. So if you're committed to arguably even staying in business, but certainly growing your business significantly, you got to do something different. You can't just sit there and hope. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is hopeless. You've got to take action. And the action I'd love you to take is to join me on Results Mastery. I'll really help you to grow your business. I really will. I've been doing it, working with thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries for 28 years. I've helped some of them make millions and millions of pounds of additional income. However, let's get back to the story. We're going to work on improving your current marketing. And then, as I've said, we're going to look at building additional multiple streams of income. Now, again, I can't remember. I think it might have been Jay Abraham, but I've also heard Donald Trump talking about this. Now, whether you like him or not, he's done reasonably well, certainly in business, and he's a multi-billionaire. and he talks about having multiple streams of income. And if you looked at anybody who's successful, they've all got, Richard Branson, he's got multiple businesses. So has Trump, by the way. And, out of those multiple businesses, he's also got multiple products within those businesses. And out of those products, he's got multiple marketing strategies and multiple salespeople and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, they're big business, and I'm not recommending you go and get multiple salespeople right now. But what I am recommending is that you start to think about what you can do to introduce additional marketing streams. Let's say you're winning a little bit of business from your website, a bit from repeat business, a bit from referral, another bit from your LinkedIn, and maybe even some from Facebook. That's okay. What else could we do in order to create multiple streams? How can we get what I call proof of concept? Proof to know that this has worked. How can we take our first little step into the world of perhaps Google advertising or remarketing, or going to this networking event as well as that networking event, and start to find other ways of winning business. And that's why I recommend. That's how I help people to turn 12-month income. So if they're turning over 100 grand, to turn that into 1.2 million. Now, as I've said, I want to be absolutely honest with you. They don't all do that. Some of them only go from 100,000 to 180,000. But that's not bad, is it? That's nearly doubling your business. One guy called Cascade Events, you might have seen it on the introduction, went from something like, I think it was about 280 to 490, and I could be slightly out there, but it was about that sort of roughly that amount of business, and that's not uncommon for people working with me. So what I'd love you to do, again, I really want to be clear. I'm not about pushing you into it. I'm not, if you want to join, great, I'll tell you about it. But what I'd like you to do, see the rolling banner here, this thing. Yeah, great technology, isn't it? I'm amazed at it. See that rolling banner? It says, book a free one-to-one results meeting with Steve. In the meeting, we'll discuss your business's current results, what results you'd want to try to achieve, and how to get there. So I'll try and give you some tips, give you a little bit of help. In order to do that, go to my website, steve-mills.com, and use one of the gold buttons to get yourself signed up. It'd be fantastic to see you, and really look forward to doing that. We'll do it over Zoom, so there's no need to travel anywhere. Take 45 minutes, and at the end of it, you can make an informed decision as to whether you'd like to work with me going forward. So that's it. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you when we meet in person. Thank you.